Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with the final season of Merlin. Isn't that crazy? We're here. This is it. Last time on Merlin, we finished off the 4th season with The Sword in the Stone Part 2. A bit of an odd finale, but still good. Arthur was feeling down on himself about everything that had happened. Merlin boosted his confidence by having him pull the Sword in the Stone and completely making up a story about the Sword in the Stone, which Arthur kind of knew was a fake story, but it still worked. And so now he has Excalibur, the sword that Merlin forged and put in the stone. And then the people were with him, and then they went back to Camelot, and they defeated Morgana. Agravain's dead. The one dude, I don't know. Oh, no, the one dude, Helios or whatever. He's dead. Morgana left. She was going to die, but then she got saved by Aethusa? I think that's what happened at the end. And then Arthur and Gwen got married. And that was that. It was, odd, to say the least, actually. But still enjoyable. This time around, though, we are moving on to the final season, the final 13 episodes of Merlin. Man, what a journey this has been. What a very crazy journey this has been. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that because this is the first episode of the season, you can actually watch my full unedited reaction for free. So what the hell does that mean? Well, normally over at my Patreon page, I offer full unedited reactions for my $5 patrons. But at the beginning of every season, I like to give you guys a little taster. So you can watch my full unedited reaction to this episode of Merlin by going down in the description or to the pinned comment. And you can click on that link where it should say, watch the full-length reaction here. You click on that, that will take you over to my full-length reaction. There's no footage at all because I can't just give you the episode, so you're going to have to sync up your copy, hopefully your legal copy of Merlin. I guess it doesn't matter. If it's legal or not, I guess that's your business, not mine, but you can sync up your copy of Merlin with my footage, watch it, and hopefully you have a good time. And if you like that, then you can consider signing up for full length on my Patreon page, which not only gets you every Merlin episode in full length, but every reaction I do in full length. Isn't that pretty cool? So yeah, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Also, if you just don't want to do full length in general, then also down in the description and in the pinned comment, there's another link there that says watch the reaction highlight here. That is where the normal reaction is, where it's about 10 minutes long and there is footage and it's all edited and nice and good. You can go watch that just like a normal reaction, and when you're done with either the highlight or the full length, depending on what you choose, when you're done with those, you can pop right back over here to this YouTube video for the discussion, which I always highly encourage. So yeah. That is pretty much that. We should go ahead and start on Season 5, Episode 1 of Merlin. Here we go. That is a different guy, right? Huh? John Bradley was in this episode. Where? Okay, yeah, it's a different guy as Mordred. John Bradley was in this episode. What? Also, Julian Glover. Who was he? It must have been like... okay, the... Julian Glover, he must have been the Druid Seer. Yeah. And then John Bradley must have been the guy at the end? Okay, well, now I gotta go figure that out. Also, I just now realized I have a cast list back. Let me see.
I'm sorry. Did we wake you?
No, that's not him. He's like one of the last people in the cast list, so...
The King of Camelot. You will fetch a handsome price. Alive or dead. Any last requests?
My servant go. I deserve to die like this.
If you're going to kill him, you'll have to kill me first.
Merlin, step aside.
You know I never do as I'm told. Stop!
Shouldn't we leave it to the Lady Morgana to decide their fate?
Okay, they don't... I don't know where the hell John Bradley is in this episode. But if that's true, then we have 3 Game of Thrones actors. Because we have Liam Cunningham as... Rudan, I don't know. Julian Glover as the Druid Seer. And then John Bradley apparently is in this too, which is pretty crazy. Alright, there's a couple things I want to get in the subs real quick. It's actually like here.
Noble Knights of Camelot, countrymen, friends, I welcome you to this meeting of the Round Table. For 3 long years we have been blessed. Peace and prosperity. But now it seems a shadow has been cast across our lands.
So, man, normally there's like a 1 year break. Like there's a 1 year jump between seasons. But this time around there's 3, which is interesting. Makes me curious when this episode came out, actually. If it was 3 years later. I don't need notifications. I'm actually going to check. I don't know. I would think it would still be the same amount of time, but let's find out. Merlin. Arthur's Bane Part 1 is 2013. Okay. Let's see. So, The Sword in the Stone Part 2 came out on Christmas Eve of 2011. And this episode came out in January of 2013. So, only a little over a year later. So, that's pretty interesting that it's been 3 years since the last season. That's pretty crazy. I like that. And now there was something else. There was something that Morgana wanted. And I don't remember what it was called. I love that Liam Cunningham is in this. I hope he stays around for the rest of the season.
The last of the Camelot patrol.
How long before Arthur sends more?
Calm yourself. There's nothing to worry about.
Wrong, we're running out of time.
Prophecies do not lie. Arthur's Bane is real. Once it is known to us, his end is nigh.
So you keep saying it, you cannot tell me what it is.
The DMR will tell us.
Okay. DMR. Okay. So, Morgana is looking for the DMR, which will tell her what Arthur's Bane is. I would assume then that Arthur's Bane is Mordred. Which, y'all have told me before that... Well, I mean... Because, you guys will explain Arthurian legend to me, which is really helpful, actually. But it also is nice because it is different from this show. And now I'm pretty sure some of you guys have said that in Arthurian legend, Mordred is actually like Arthur's son, which he's not in the show, but he is the one who kills Arthur. So I guess that's kind of what we're building up to, which I guess that then would be Arthur's Bane, would be Mordred. I guess. Yeah. So that's interesting. That is definitely interesting. I will say though that it feels a little weird that he's such an older actor. You know, he's still like a young man. I'd still put him maybe a good 5 or so years younger than Merlin, at least, you know? Maybe 10 years younger, honestly. I guess we don't really know how old Merlin is, but then again, I believe, like, when we started the show, I feel like Arthur was around his early 20s, so he's got to be, like, mid to late 20s by now. So I'd probably say that Mordred is around late teens to early 20s. So, I mean, we have to think about, like, how much time has passed. Like, if we give, like, each season a few months, then a few months for season 1, then I think a year. I think a year passes between all of them until this season, where 3 years passes. So I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, this is really interesting, I gotta say. So, alright. We can go ahead and talk about the notes on this episode. Of course, you know, like always, you know, because this is a part 1, generally my part 1 discussions are not as long as normal reaction discussions, just because we haven't seen the whole story yet. So yeah, we can go ahead and start talking about this. The first thing I wrote down is Gawain. So Gawain and Percival were checking out this citadel that Morgana has now inhabited, because she's looking for the Diamere so that she can learn of what Arthur's Bane is, which technically, I mean, she kind of already has it, because she has Mordred. If we are going on Mordred being Arthur's Bane, which I'm pretty sure that's what we're going on. Something else I wanted to write down real quick. Alien. Yeah. Cool. Alright. Anyway. So yeah, Gawain was hunting, or he was, I don't know, they said something about, like, you know, they were looking for a specific thing. Let me listen to it again.
3 long years we have been blessed. Peace and prosperity. But now it seems a shadow has been cast across our lands. Sir Gawain set off for Izmir some 6 weeks ago. With him went 70 of our finest men. There has been no word from them since.
Oh, gosh. I love this because this has to all be, like, on location. So, man, fucking Percival's still not wearing any sleeves, even in, you know, up north in the winter. So they were headed for Izmir, apparently. And then they got caught by some wolves.
request, Sir Elian led a search party to the wastelands of the north. He found no trace of Gawain or his men. It is as if they have vanished from the face of the earth.
Aw. Yeah. They're found by Morgana. Okay, so they just went north to Izmir. They didn't fully explain why, but I would imagine it's because they know that that Morgana is at the Citadel. So that's pretty interesting. And then yeah, we got the Diamere, which is what they're going to use to find out what Arthur's Bane is, which is interesting. And then yeah, so we have the new vision of Arthur's Bane, which makes me curious if it makes me curious if we are going to sort of resolve this in the next episode, because this is Arthur's Bane Part 1 and Part 2, but I mean, there is a part of me that kind of hopes that this sort of lasts through the season, But going off of last season, where we had The Darkest Hour, Part 1 and Part 2, that was completely resolved, and then there was nothing about the spirit world for the rest of that season, So I would wager to guess that we are going to be sort of wrapping this up. But everything with, Arthur's death at the hands of Mordred, I'm not sure about. So so we got the vision. Again, I think it's very similar to, it might be like the same battlefield where we see Morgana. Morgana had that vision last season where, there was the entire battlefield, and then I think she was on the ground. She's probably dying or something. Well, I guess we don't know, but she was on the ground and pleading to Emrys. And that's when we saw Old Man Merlin again, which was interesting. So now we sort of get another side to this where we see Arthur's side of it, where he is supposedly killed by Mordred. Now, I like that Merlin's not exactly taking this at face value, which has sort of been his Achilles heel when it comes to these visions, is that he kind of takes all of them at face value. This time around, he's doing it a little bit better. He is doing a little bit better about, I don't know. I mean, he still, is concerned about it, but he's not fully saying, oh, well, Arthur's gonna die, then that's gonna be that. But he knows there's going to be something. He did see that Arthur was wounded, but you did not see him get stabbed. You saw him wounded, you saw Mordred, and then you saw Arthur fall. I know that's a very compelling case for Arthur being killed by Mordred on the battlefield, but yeah, I don't. I honestly, I don't think that they're going to do that. They're going to end the show by killing off Arthur. I don't think that's going to happen, but there is definitely something afoot about this battle. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I wrote down the juggling. I thought that was kind of cool. Merlin literally doing a magic trick. He gives himself juggling skills and then just does that. That was kind of funny. So yeah. Oh man. We got Sifa, who was pretty interesting. Again, immediately it's when the two of them share sort of a cute moment, I'm just like, ship. I already shipped them. But then, as it went on, I was like, I bet she's evil. So I retract my ship. Bring the ship back into port. We're not sailing. So, and it's not exactly, she doesn't seem to be evil, but she is she's basically just, she's doing things for her father, and her father seems to be maybe not evil per se, but not a good guy either. Like, I think there's... I don't know. Now, it's interesting because he had the mark of a druid on the back of his neck, which was interesting. So, by that reasoning, I would imagine that he is a druid. But, at the same time, you know, at the same time, it wasn't exactly, like, I don't know if he's exactly a druid or not. He is a sorcerer, but he is also an incredible warrior, which is interesting. You know, he was taking on Arthur and Leon and Elian, so he's a great warrior as well as a sorcerer, and possibly a druid too, so that's pretty crazy. God, I hope he sticks around the entire season, because I just love that man, you know? So yeah. And then I'm glad immediately Gwen figured out that it was her. And damn, I gotta say, Queen Guinevere is a bit hardcore when she's just like, alright, well, by the laws of Camelot, I sentence you to death. And it's like, oh shit. Oh man, she's not exactly our good girl anymore, is she? So, I don't know if they're going to stick with that. You know, the last thing we saw was just a take her to the cells. Like, I don't know if that's what we're going to actually be doing, but it was pretty intense when she just sentences her to death. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll... I don't know. Maybe she won't die. Who knows? So, yeah. Also, because we brought up Davos and the fact that I do love that man. Speaking of men, there were a lot of shirtless men in this episode. Now look, it's always been the funniest thing to me when it's like, yo, anytime, well, because it's obvious, yo, I know that there are those of you out there that ship Merlin and Arthur. That's cool. Great job. I don't personally ship them, but that's fine. You can ship them if you want. But it's always been hilarious, like, anytime there's a scene where Arthur is shirtless. So I sort of play into it. So I definitely wanted to play into it here, you know? As, even though I am a straight man, I definitely, you know, sort of played up the comedy a bit of seeing Gawain and Percival there without their shirts. So it's always funny. So I'm sure some of you enjoyed that as well. Anyway. Sneak attack. That was interesting. We had the sneak attack, and again, we saw how good, what was his name? I don't want to just call him Davos. Oh yeah. Rodan. I'm going to call him Rodan. I know it's Godzilla creature, but still. So yeah, Rodan. Yeah, he's actually really, really good as a warrior, as well as being a sorcerer, you know, who I guess is also a druid. Not that you can't be a druid if... Never mind. But anyway, yeah, so we had that. And we also had Mordred. So I was right, actually, because I didn't say it, because I didn't know, because I was like, I don't know, it's a different guy. But immediately when I saw him, well, when I first saw him, I was like, this guy looks a lot like Merlin. And then I was like, I don't know, maybe he's Mordred. And then it's like, oh, it is Mordred. So that was pretty interesting. So yeah, he seems to be Arthur's Bane, I guess. I'm not sure. He's definitely going to be, I guess, the death of Arthur. So we'll have to see about that. And then the last thing I wrote down after the episode, there's an alien. There's just an alien in this, which was crazy. Yeah. What else can I say? It just, like, Gawain was looking for something, and then the thing came over, and it looked like an alien from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, only with just a human face. And it was glowy. And it just cut to that, you know, just without any warning, it just cut to that, and I was not expecting it. So, alien. Obviously, it's not an alien, it's some sort of magical creature, but it's definitely an alien, so... That's pretty much all I wrote. Really strong opening. Very curious to see where we are going, and I'm curious to see if this two-parter will actually affect more of the season as a whole. I kind of hope so. Who knows? Maybe this will be the Empire Strikes Back moment that I wanted out of The Sword in the Stone. So, yeah, we'll see. We will definitely see next time. So, with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Merlin reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.